Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Luis. Luis is from Mexico, but he lives in New Mexico in the USA. So let's see what Luis has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Luis. I'm very well. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Is it William, right? You go by William
Yes.
or Will?
You can call me William, you can call me Will.
Yeah. Okay.
Either
Good.
way, either way.
Alex, let me silence my phone and everything else so we don't get distracted.
So tell me, how's your morning going so far?
Pretty good. We got snow during the night, like it's snow all night long. It's still snowing, so we have about 6 to 7 inches. So, you're from Brazil, right?
I'm originally from Brazil, but I live in London. I've been living in England for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that would be probably about like 14, 15 centimeters or snow.
So,
So,
so tell me, where are you based, Luis? Where are you from?
so I'm from Chihuahua, Mexico. The state of Chihuahua, the city is Parral. And let me, I think that they can get, we have a bird that he can get very
Can
loud
I
to think.
see? Can I see?
He will come out. Like he's mad at me right now. It's a small sun conure.
Oh,
For some reason he's mad. So I tried to get him out of the cage, and he's just not coming out. So otherwise, I'll love to. He loves to be over here, and then he gets inside the shirt, and he
would be,
can be there.
oh, it would be so amazing if he could come over to the video. Oh my God, it would be amazing.
Yeah,
Let's hope.
they're like cats, right? So I want to say that birds are like cats. They can be all about you, and sometimes they don't want anything to do with you. So today is one of those days. But so yeah, so I'm from Parra, Chihuahua in Mexico, and now I live in Hemet Springs, which is in New Mexico, and it's probably about an hour and a half away from either Albuquerque or Santa Fe, which are the most known cities in New Mexico. But this is my third time living in New Mexico, and so I love it over here. It's like home for me.
I see. And all your family are back in Mexico, in Chihuahua.
Yeah, so they're still over there. I have my mom and three sisters, and one of my brothers, or my brother, he lives in Milwaukee. So it's only the two boys that we live in the States for the
See.
longest. Here in the States for 20 January is going to be 23 years. Yeah.
Wow. And why the change from Mexico to the US?
Hey, it's funny. I always told my parents I was a geographical mistake, that I should have been born in the States, and it's mostly because a really good childhood friend. His great aunt was my neighbor, and he's actually from Santa Fe, so they will come and visit her. So ever since I was a kid, I was just fascinated with the culture and seeing and the stories that they would tell us and all that. So and then the movies, right? You will see the movies, and I grew up coming up to El Paso, which is in the border, to go shopping for clothes for the season. So always fascinated me, and then at some point I just felt like I needed to leave town, and so I said like I'm going north, and yeah. So
Amazing, amazing. And what do you do for work, for living?
I'm an economist, right? But and I work in the electric industry, in the utility industry. So what I do is regulatory policy, a lot of rulemakings, laws, and if we file any case, it has to go through a state commission that it regulates the industry. So every price or charges that we charge to customers, what you pay for electricity, it has to be approved by a state entity, a regulatory agency. So it's a lot of that work, right? So a lot of litigation, a lot of back and forth and audits. So we submit numbers and they come back and audit and to see if it's reasonable, just fair and reasonable. So it's fun. It's you learn. Every single case is different. Even though that you might be applying for the same, every case is different. There's something new that they come back with, something new that they ask or they want to find out. So it keeps me busy. And then I do
sorry, carry on.
On the side, yeah. So I do photography as a hobby, if you want to call it that way. It's more than a hobby now. So it just I would love to do it full time, but one day I'll get there.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your photography and your point of views as well, okay?
Okay, that works.
So before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, would you like to tell me something interesting about yourself?
Something interesting about myself. I keep saying my mom says I have way too many tattoos. I keep telling her I only got one that I haven't finished. So I just keep adding and adding to it. I try not to show them. It's more like for myself, but yeah, I just love getting art on my body.
Which one is the very first one you ever had, and which one is the latest one?
The very first one was on my ankle, and it's like a totem. It goes around my ankle, and it's interesting because back then in Mexico, I got it when I was 17. So that was 30 years ago, man. So back then, only like gang members had them, right? So it wasn't well seen unless you were, and we call gang members cholos. So unless you were a cholo, then it was okay for you to have a tattoo. So I drove about 3 hours. I got it done, and then I hid it from my parents for about a year or so. Now the latest I have on my arm, I have like a it's not really like a sleeve. It's a series of different images from a game called Loteria. And so what I did, I just kind of put dots and stars. Let me see. So all of those dots and stars, that was the latest. But yeah, I'm planning, like I normally get them when I go to Mexico because they're cheap, right? And I can get many same time. I'm not sure. I think I have a design for my kneecaps. I'm not sure if I'm ready for the paint on my kneecap, but we'll see. If not, it will be something on my back or somewhere else. Yeah.
Amazing. Very good. Luis, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life to share your point of views?
Yes.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here friend, okay, full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That works.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, Luis, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay, that works.
Right, so let's go for the first question. Right. First question for you is, would you rather be invisible or be able to fly, and what would you do?
Wow, it's that's always been my dreams when I fly. So that's my thing, right? But I don't fly this way. I jump. So, and then I jump up very long distances, right? And then when I'm coming down, if I want to stay up, I have to flap. And sometimes I felt myself like on my sleep, like flapping my arms. But that's the way, right? So I would just do it to travel long distances. And I think that one of the reasons I loved drone photography is because you get to see a whole different perspective of things, right? So normally you see things here and they're kind of flat, but once you start flying, it's a whole different perspective, and that's one of the things I think that I can connect of my dreams and being able to fly and now with the goggles, right? So you can be right there, and then you just sometimes I find myself like moving with the drone, so I fly with it. So
If you could fly somewhere right this moment, yeah, where would you fly?
probably go see my mom in Chihuahua. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So yeah,
Is
it's
your
been I day, but it's just um, I've she's getting old, and I the way I see it, I have so many opportunities that I can go see her, right? So I
Mhm.
count um, maybe 10, 15 more times that I'm gonna get to see her. So if I could do it more often and just by jumping and going there, will be awesome.
Oh, beautiful. Is she the person in your family you are more close to?
Well, my dad passed about 8, 7 years ago. So, but yeah, ever since I left Mexico, you know, 23 years ago, I'll call them every day. So that's my way of being there, right? So yeah.
Sweet, very sweet. Next question. Hey, next question for you is talking about childhood. What was your best friend's name growing up, and why did you consider your best friend at the time?
So his name was Sergio, or is Sergio, but his nickname is Jekyll, and we're still good friends to this day, right? So we're very close, and it was I don't know. It was something that we just kind of got in trouble together, and we did a lot of things together. That let's say after school he would come and pick me up, or I'll go pick him up, and then we'll just drive around the city and then just get in trouble. And then it was so it was like almost like family because he could just come into my house and then just go straight to the fridge and make himself something to eat, and then my sisters love him, or I'll go the same to his house and hang out with his brother, and even if he wasn't there, right? So it just felt so much like family, and now that we're all grown up and he has kids, and we live different countries and all of that, we try to get together and like visit each other or go on vacations together.
Wow.
Life changes, and we evolve, but it's still that feeling like I can get together with him, and time hasn't passed, right? It's like we just reconnect with the last time we were there. So it was that connection, and just I don't know, doing cool things together.
Yeah, I think those childhood friendship, if you when you keep them, when you still have some contact with those childhood friends, I think it's such a genuine bond that it's it meant to be for you because you grew up around this those best friends, and
Yeah,
for some reason, if you like still keep together, of the connection, sometimes you don't see to see them very often, but if the connection is there, I think
yeah,
it's great to keep those friendship for sure.
definitely.
Next question, Luis, let's do it. Right, before the next question, how photography came into your life?
So my dad always had good cameras, right? Like professional cameras and all of that. And I remember as a kid, I'm the youngest of five. And so as a kid, I was always kind of like let me, take the photos or so. And then I started kind of like playing with it and learning, and I guess my dad saw that I was taking good pictures. So I became kind of like the family photographer, right? So, but then I dropped it off, and then when I was on my last year of high school, uh, about it was 5 or 6 of us classmates that we decided to do the first yearbook ever for our school. So we started working on it, and we were in charge of doing everything, like from finding sponsors and taking photos and all that. So for a whole year, I carry a camera with me, and we were just taking photos. And then I'll do it on and off and take photos here and there. But then I moved to Turks and Caicos Islands for work, and I started taking photos, but it was just sunsets and sunrises, and then I got tired of it, and then I discovered at the time there was this page called Flickr, and from Yahoo. So that's where I was uploading my photos, and then I started discovering other people that I was like, man, that's really cool that you can do that with photography. So I got myself more interested and started to study and see what I could do, learn Photoshop, and ever since then, that was probably about 20 years ago that I picked it up seriously, and so I've been doing it. And then I came back to the States and went to school and took more classes and so on. So yeah.
Do you photography only places or people as well?
My style is mostly like landscape and architecture.
Mm-hmm.
I do portraits. It's very rare, and it comes down to me being shy around people. So when I'm out there taking photos of landscapes, I'm on my own and I don't have to interact with people. And I enjoy doing that. Like I do it for friends and family, and then I do sometimes like for good friends I'll do like weddings and that kind of stuff. It's a lot of pressure when you take photos of people, right? Because you want to make them look good, and they want you want them to look good, and then for them to be happy with the photo. So it's a lot of pressure, and then I feel like it kills my creativity, right? Because I have a pressure to deliver a product that they're gonna like. When I do it like landscape and all of that, it's just if I like it, it's good, and that's it. So
I see.
But yeah, I enjoy both. Yeah,
okay.
I do save them portraits.
Next question for you is, if someone offered to tell your future, would you accept it or not, and why?
Yeah, I'll go with it, right? So, and the reason is because, I don't know if I will be able to influence it, right? So let's say, okay, you're gonna be this person in, I don't know, 20 years. And so if it's something that aligns with who I am right now, and so like, good, man, I've been doing really good, and so I know I can get there. Or if it gets to a point that, it's like, I don't like that person, right? I don't like me from the future. So it's so what do I gotta do to stay true to myself? So probably will be a good kind of a wake-up call to see, like a checkpoint, right? So like, are you doing good, or like, do you need to do something with your life to stay true to yourself? Yeah.
And saying that, what do you like the most about yourself right now?
Oh, I don't know. I could tell you things I don't like about myself, but let me see things that I like about myself. Just that I love the adventure. I'm a person that I'm always looking for the next adventure, right? And by that I mean I never settle. I'm always moving. So I live in so many places throughout the United States and countries and all that, because I want to go see and explore and experience and all of that. So I feel like that's part of who I am, like a nomad. And for the last 3 years, well, I've been here in New Mexico this time for a year and a half. But before that, me and my husband, we were like full-time RVers. So we were just traveling on an RV and getting to see the country. And so I'm lucky that I found someone that feels, about traveling the same I do. So that's, yeah. So I feel if I don't have that in my life, then I wouldn't be happy, right? So.
And your husband is Mexican as well, or he's American?
No, he's American. He's from Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, so up north, and that's where we were living before we took off on the RV. But we met in El Paso. I was in school in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and he was at work there in El Paso, in Texas, and we met. So we just took it from there, and yeah, so.
Beautiful. Look your smile. Talk about him.
Hey, thank you.
Ready for another question?
Uh-huh.
Let's do it. Next question. Next question. Let's do it, Luis. What's your favorite place in the entire world and why?
It's been Santa Fe, New Mexico. And as I say, growing up, I had this childhood friend that he would talk about the city. And then but once that I was old enough to travel on my own, I came and visit. And it's just not only the architecture, because there's all these, adobe pueblo type homes, but just the landscape, the colors in New Mexico for photography, they're just like, there's something about the light in New Mexico, the way the sunlight hits the landscape, it's amazing. But then there's also the culture. It's very close to Mexican culture. But then you get the mix of the Native Americans, the Mexican culture, and then the Anglo culture, and it's the food, the even the way they talk and all of that is very peculiar to New Mexico, to Santa Fe. So it's been, like I say, 3 times that I live in New Mexico, and I keep coming back. We leave, and then we always say, well, at some point we're gonna live back in New Mexico. And so we were traveling on the RV, and a friend called me. And she said, "Well, I have a job that you might be interested that is based out of Santa Fe." And like, okay, now we gotta stop and like leave there for a while, and then we'll see where we go next. But yeah, that's been always since I was a kid my favorite city in the world. Yeah,
Santa Fe, the name.
Yeah.
Tell me, I just was thinking now, talk about New Mexico, geography. So New Mexico state is literally the border with Mexico or not?
Yeah. So okay. You have New Mexico and Texas, and then Chihuahua is right here on the bottom. So it's easy, for me, when I came to college, I came to Las Cruces, New Mexico, which is only, I don't know, like 30 minutes away, 45 minutes away from the border with Juarez. Yeah, so.
I see. Okay, next question, let's do it. Next question for you is, what hurt your feelings?
Dishonesty, right? So I'm always all about communication, and if something's bothering you or me or so, I expect you to come talk about it and be honest about it. So when you're on any kind of relationship, right, even at work or so, if something is not going well, then just bring it up, right, and don't hold it, because sometimes it happens that, I don't know, it has happened to me that I've done something, I didn't know about it, and then a few years, like relationships change, and then like you cannot figure out what happened, and then a few years later or months later you ask, and so, well, remember back then you say it's like, really, I didn't even know about it, right? So like, you were upset at me for something that I was not aware about, and so that other person has been holding that feeling and being hurt and all of that. So for me is when someone is not honest, right, and then you like, you don't have that communication, then it's easy just to ruin relationships, and so if someone is not being honest to me, then it's hard, right, and it hurts and all that. So but it's hard to have a good relationship without it. So
yeah, I think communication is a really good point, not just in a relationship, but in a friendship as well, with family members, friends, colleagues. So I think communication is something that, of course, saying that myself, sometimes we tend to forget sometimes, for different reasons. But I think communication, it's a great point for you to be in a place where you can express yourself the best way.
Yes.
3 questions left. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, tell me about Chihuahua states in Mexico. Tell me something interesting about the state, something unique. So tell me
Okay.
something that maybe not many people know about it.
All right. So Chihuahua is the largest state in Mexico, right? I can't remember how many square kilometers are there, but it's the largest state in Mexico. It's the largest Mennonite. It has the largest Mennonite community too, and then when it comes to the state itself, it has the Copper Canyon, which is 7 times bigger than the Grand Canyon in the United States. So it's just beautiful, and hiking and all that. And so far to this day, it has the only tourist train that goes through the mountains. So it's beautiful to do that. Then we're really good or well known about cheese, right? So in Chihuahua, yeah, and then the burritos. The story is that they were originated in Chihuahua. And now you're aware of Pancho Villa. Have you heard about Pancho Villa? It was
No?
a revolutionary hero, like from the revolution hero. And he was killed in my hometown. So there's, all about my hometown is all about Pancho Villa, but then he's also the only Mexican that has invaded the United States. So, with an army and all of that, they hijack a train, and then they dress up like American soldiers. So they came to Columbus, Texas, and they came and robbed the fort over there for ammunition and stuff like that, and then they went back to Mexico, and then the United States came into Mexico looking for him and all of that. But yeah, so it's good state. It has all sort of like climates. You go from mountains like with pine trees to desert, and then if you keep going down, you get to tropical. So it's beautiful state.
I see. Okay. Next question is, which question would you like to be asked?
Which question I would like to be asked? Ooh, I think anything that has to do with my family, right? Either my husband, my family in Mexico, or yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, I can ask then. What's the biggest difference between you and your husband, and the biggest similarity?
Well, the biggest difference is he's older than me. He's 18 years old, years older than me, but he's a big kid at heart, right? So everybody seems to love him better than I do. Kids, they just, like for kids, like he's Papa Kevin and I'm Mr. Luis. So I always thought I was a cool guy. Did I lost you? Got the picture kind of froze, but I always thought I was a cool guy, but apparently he's
No, I'm here.
all right. Apparently he's a cool guy, right? So everybody loves him. My family loves him. So if I go places without him, everybody is like, "Where's Kevin?" I said, like, "Who cares? I'm here," right? So that's the biggest difference, right? That he's more outgoing and like a social person, and I'm more reserved. And then the similarities, I think that we both are kids, like at heart. We enjoy a lot of the same things, and the more we've been together for a while now, and 15 years, and even to this day we keep talking about things that either he did as a kid and I did it too, or we have a dog with the same name and same kind of breed, and so there's a lot of things that that have connected us without even knowing. So
amazing, very good. 2 questions left. Let's do
all
it.
right, let's go.
Next question for you is, when was the last time you laughed so hard that you couldn't stop?
It was actually probably about a month ago. And our dog, his name is Moose, and he's a bloodhound. And so we live on the mountains, on the forest. And most of the times he's out there, but if he sees something, then he will just take off after it. Can be a deer or turkey or something, and he goes out, and then we got to go look for him. But then there's also been a actual moose hanging out in Santa Fe, outside of Santa Fe, which is very rare because they're like in Colorado and northern part of the states. And so it's unusual for a moose to be here in this part of the country. So what they did, they capture him because everybody was like, well, he's too far and he's all by himself and blah, blah. So they captured him and they relocated him back to Colorado. And then a few weeks later, he's back down into, like in the area. So we were one morning, our dog Moose was outside, and then he ran away, and I went and looked for him. But I have taken a photo of him, and I posted it on social media saying something, minutes before I got lost or he got lost, something. And my sister-in-law understood that Moose had run away and blah, blah, blah. So later in the evening, I think we went to the hot springs or something. And when I go, I like to eat a edible, right? And just relax and all that. So Kevin ate one too. And I always have a bigger effect on him. So he was high. And we're sitting here at home watching TV, and his sister starts texting with him. And she goes, have you found Moose? And she referred to our dog, and Kevin thought that it was the Moose out there. He was like, oh no, he's out there. And she's like, but it's late. Like, I can't believe you're not out there looking for him. So like, oh no, people have seen him, he's out there. Like, what are you talking about? Like, people have seen him. So they go back and forth, and she's freaking out that we're not out there looking for him. And then Kevin is asking his sister, what's wrong with you? Are you drunk or what? Why are you asking all these questions? So finally caught up with him that she was referring to our dog, and he was thinking of the actual Moose. And once that he showed me the text, we were just, of course, we were still there, right? So we were just like laughing our asses off and all that, but it was funny.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Is the Moose back already to Colorado, or is back again?
He's around here, they still see him, and he's kind of quite a famous character. He has a Facebook page now. We'll take photos of him, or we see him, or something like that. But yeah, no, he's apparently, what they say is that they tend to be on their own, and then they go, and then they just kind of leave, and they live on their own. But they're saying he's not gonna find any mates down here. So maybe he will go up north and then mate and then come back. Who knows?
Amazing. Yeah. I like that. I didn't know that, actually. Very interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Ready for the last question?
Yes.
Okay, Luis, last question. Let's do it. But before the last question, through your career as a photographer, tell me one of your photography that you taken that you're never gonna forget, like that's always gonna have a special place in your heart for some reason. One of your art, your work.
Yeah. There's one picture that I took many, many years ago, and so in Chihuahua we also have like. We call them Indians, and so it's like a indigenous tribe.
Yeah, in Brazil you have like the Amerindians, like the natives. Yeah.
So this is indigenous tribe called Tarahumaras. They live in the mountains, and they're very isolated community. So they still very I don't know. Their cultures and their traditions are very strong, so they still wear their attire and their own dialect and all that. And I was on a trip through the mountains, and I took this photo of a little girl, and her eyes, you know, her look on her eyes, it's just like I could see so much and so many emotions and all of that. And I play with that photo many ways, like from color to black and white and all of that. And it's one photo that I keep bringing back in, you know, multiple times, and it just brings back a lot of emotions and memories, and just to, you know, I don't know, it's one of my favorite photos, and just because of that, I guess, emotions that conveys her look on her eyes. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Last question for you is, what's the
All right.
best advice have you ever given?
Have I ever given? Not to forget, like, I always just have a smile, right? So I always smile to people, and the way it was told to me is, and I'm trying to translate it. So a smile is like an umbrella for bad weather, right? So for bad times, and the way I resonates to me and all of that is like, you know, you can make a whole lot of difference on someone's life or day if you just smile to them, right? So yeah, nice smile, and then like it makes you feel good, and then you keep going with your life and all of that. So, and even if you're having a bad day, just, you know, smile, and it'll get you through. So yeah.
Beautiful. I read once that is my peace starts with a smile, and it's so true.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I believe. Okay, Luis, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay.
Okay.
Let's start with money,
Freedom.
family,
Love.
fear,
Freezing.
okay? One word for love.
For love.
Yeah.
Happiness.
Religion,
Lies.
sex,
A need. I want.
politics,
Scary.
friendship,
It has to be one word, right? So it's happiness.
desire,
Desire. Um, Selfish.
regret,
Fear.
success,
Success.
yeah,
Achievement. I don't know.
okay, okay. Wish,
A wish.
yeah, wish,
A dream.
happiness.
Happiness. Family.
One word for Mexico.
Beautiful.
One word for Chihuahua State.
Amazing.
One word for USA.
Dream.
And the last one now, photography. One word.
Creativity.
Amazing. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your husband for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, define Luis in one positive word and one negative word only. What he would say.
A positive word. Oh man, I know he will say amazing, and then a negative word will be grumpy. So
If I would ask the same question to your lovely mom, would be the same answer?
oh, I don't know. No, I don't think it will be the same answer. I think that she would say something like proud, and then negative, probably like stubborn.
Stubborn, a bit connects with grumpy.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let's play now, Luis and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question.
Okay.
You can ask me a question.
All right. So, and I think that as you were asking me all those questions, and you, I guess, being from Brazil, living in England, I think that we have a lot of things in common, right? So at some point we decided to leave our country, family, everything behind for a dream. And you asked me a question about me getting the future, right? So if I would like to know my future and all that, my question to you would be, what would you tell yourself from back then when you were about to leave your country? What would you tell yourself, like, because it's a lot of unknowns and fears and all of that. So
Great question. Great question. Love the question. So I left Brazil when I was 19 years old. I came to Europe on my own. I just knew a lovely lady, and I call her my second mom. And it's interesting because, when you are 19 years old, my God, you still have a lot of dreams, you have a lot of desires. You just want to get a better life, to help your family. You just want to grow, become a better person. I think after it's been over 20 years now that I left Brazil. When I look to this 19 years old boy, I'll tell him, you know what? You're gonna life. It's the one of the best college that you're gonna have. Yeah, life experience is something that you cannot buy, you cannot learn. You cannot learn with somebody else. It's living. It's facing. You're gonna go through a lot of adventures, a lot of challenges, a lot of things that are gonna make you grow. It's gonna challenge yourself. You're gonna make you weak, and all of those challenges is gonna they are necessary to build you the person you're gonna be in the future. So embrace all of them. Embrace the sadness, the challenges, the happiness, the great moments, the great memories. Embrace all of them and enjoy all of them, because they're gonna go one point. You know what I mean? It's funny because when you are very happy, you just enjoy. You just and when you are sad, you think that it's gonna be there forever. That feeling. So when I look back, I would say, you know what? Everything will pass. The great moments will come and go. The sadness will come and go as well. The challenge, they will come and go as well. So just live, and enjoy all of them, because all of them, they are necessary. So yeah, just take it easy, enjoy every moment of it, because never going to be forever. All those feelings, emotions, challenge, they're going to come and they're going to go, and they're going to leave memories, they're going to leave lessons, and that's how life it is. So yeah, that's the advice I would give to this 19 years old, full of dreams, like want to go to Europe to get a better life. So that's yeah, that would be my advice.
Awesome. Yeah, it's like I say, it's as an immigrant, right? So you don't know where you're gonna get to. You have all these dreams, and you
Yeah,
wanna be over there, and it might take time, right? We have,
absolutely.
but yeah, it's
Absolutely. And I think I've been very, very lucky, Luis. When I look back, my God, because can you imagine 19 years old, you even don't know yourself better. When I look back now, that's when I realized that 19 years old is very young for you to cross the world, leave your family, leave everyone behind. But when you have this age, you just want to go, you just want to do it, yeah? But when I look back, I was like, oh my God, I don't think if I had a child, if I would let my child to go to cross the world at 19 years old.
now.
So, but yeah.
Would you do?
I would do
I think
all over again. I would do
yeah,
all over again. Absolutely, absolutely. If I could look back, I would go through every single moment, because you have no idea how powerful all those memories, like people that I've met, people that crossed my path, everyone. I've been very fortunate because, great people, cross my path, and I don't call them friends, I call them angels, because, when you go, I didn't know anyone here in Europe, and now I have so many like great friends, people that I go like, my God, those people, they meant to be in my life, because the
yeah,
connection is so strong. It's such a beautiful bound that when I look back, I even didn't think that those people would cross my mind. And I still think about, can imagine the future, and the even great people gonna come along that we never met yet. So that's what I think sometimes. And I'm already grateful for those people as well.
Yeah, I always say that people come into our lives when they're meant to and for
Yeah,
a reason.
yeah,
So whatever, at that moment, that
yeah,
connection, and it might be a positive or a negative thing, but it's
yeah,
experience. And there's
totally.
a reason they show up and they teach you a lesson, and there's a connection and
Yeah.
in meaning of the things. So yeah.
Totally, and I'm so grateful for everyone, every place, every memories, every challenge as well I had, sadness moment as well, everything. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful because, as I said before, I would go through everything again because it's great. It's great. Feels great to know that when you realize that everything you goes through it for a reason. If you feel grateful for it because it meant to be, it meant to happen for us, and so yeah. And I feel grateful as well for the Magic Box because I connect with so many people around the globe, around the world.
uh,
And
yeah.
for example, this moment now I'm talking to you, I feel like we meant to have this moment for some reason. We meant to share this energy at the moment now. So I think it's life. Life, it's the beautiful gifts. Sometimes take for granted, but I think life is the best gift everyone can have.
One thing that I really love your project, right? So it's like you say, getting to know people that you will have not known before. So for the longest time, I don't know if you're familiar with, and this was probably even before Airbnbs and all that. It's called couch surfing,
No.
and it's an online platform, couchsurfing.org, and it's people traveling, but instead of staying at a hotel, then you will stay at someone's home, and it might be from like sleeping on a couch on the floor, or like your own space and all of that. So for the longest time, we hosted people, and we met some amazing people, right? So we were living in Oklahoma City when we were the busiest, because every week we'll have one or two guests, and they will come over, and there were people from all over the world, and people doing either like their dream was to rent a motorcycle and then just do Route 66 through the United States. So people from Europe will come over, or like immigrants, from South America, that they came to the States and, as refugees, and he became a USA citizen. He was a reporter back in his country, and he was kind of had to flee the country because of the violence. So he came to the States as a refugee, got his citizenship, and then he decided to walk across the states and then interview people what it meant to be an American, because he had just gotten his citizenship. So he was working on this book, or like just people that they were just traveling to find themselves, right? So I'm on a journey to find myself, to traveling, and or like on a bike or on a car or whatever. But the stories and the connections, and I wouldn't have had those moments and those friendships if it wasn't because of it. And now with the internet, right? So here we are, you and I,
Yeah.
just talking and then connecting and getting to know each other. So yeah, so
Yeah.
it's an amazing project. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks. I think I'm so grateful for this opportunity to came to my life, and I just love doing the show. I love meeting, so many great people around the globe, and it's a gift. I meant to be doing the Magic Box. I meant to be doing that because it brings me
Yeah,
it brings the best of me, for
I
sure.
love you, and I commend you for doing this project.
Thank
So
you
thank
so much. Thank you. Before you go, Luis, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
you. Go out and live, right? Like I say, and you say it too. It's only what you collect as experiences, life experiences, and do it now. Don't wait until, like, oh, one day I'm gonna have, all this money, or I'm gonna do it. Just there's ways to go and see places, meet people, and then smile, right? So use that smile against the bad weather, and then just get through. And so yeah, so life life is good. It gets better with time. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Muchas gracias.
De nada. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And keep in... Sorry?
Gracias a ti.
Gracias. Thanks so much. Keep in touch, and regards to Kevin and all your family and friends, okay? Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.